Who's there? What who? What a wonderful day it is today. Hello, welcome. Please come in.
History has a tendency to repeat itself. As memory fades, events from the past can become events of the present. This is due to cyclical nature of history. History repeats itself flows based on the generations. It is easy to think that those events are in the past, that society has changed, that it will never happen again. But history repeated itself, and what may don't realize it in that it is already happening again. It is true that the moral consciousness of the world must recognize the importance of removing injustices and well-founded grievances, but at the same time, it must be allowed to the cardinal necessity of honoring sanctity of treaties, of respecting the rights and liberties of others, and of putting an end to acts of international aggression. It seems to be unfortunately true that the epidemic of world lawlessness is spreading, and mark this well when the epidemic of physical diseases starts to spread. The community approves and joined in a quarantine of the patients in order to protect the health of the community against the spread of the diseases. It is his determination to pursue a policy of peace. It is his determination to adopt every practicable measure to avoid involvement in war. It ought to be inconceivable that it's this modern era, and in the face of experience, any nation could be so foolish and ruthless as to run the risk of plunging the whole world into war by invading and violating, in contravention of solemn treaties, the territories of other nations that have done them no real harm and were too weak to protect themselves adequately. Yet, the peace of the world and the welfare and security of every nation, including our own, was today being threatened by that everything. No nation which refuses to exercise forbearance and to respect the freedom and rights of others can long remain strong and retain the confidence and respect of other nations. No nation ever loses its dignity or its good standing by conciliating its differences and by exercising great patience with and considerations for the rights of other nations. War is a contagion, whether it be declared or undeclared, It can engulf states and peoples remote from the original scene of hostilities. Yes, they are determined to keep out of war, yet they cannot insure themselves against the disastrous effects of war and the dangers of involvement. They are adopting such measures as well minimize their risks of involvement, but they cannot have complete protection on the world of disorder in which confidence and security have break down. It ought to be possible for American consumers of any colors to receive the equal service and praises of public accommodation, such as hotels, restaurants, and theater, retail stores, without being forced to resort to demonstration on the street. And it ought to be possible for American citizens of any color to register and to vote in a free election without interference or fear of reprisal. It ought to be possible, in short, for every American to enjoy the privileges of being American without regard to his race or his color. In short, every American ought to have the right to be treated as he would wish to be treated, as one would wish his children to be treated. But this is not the case. This is not a sectional issue. Difficulties over segregation and discrimination exist in every city, in every state of the Union, producing in many cities a rising tide of discontent that threatens the public safety. Nor is this a passing issue. In a time of domestic crisis, men of goodwill and generosity should be able to unite regardless of party or politics. This is not even a legal or legislative issue alone. It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the street. And new laws are needed at every level, but law alone cannot make men see rights. We are confronted primarily with a moral issue. It is as old as the scripture and is as clear as the American Constitution.